So I've had these Yamaha TW E7Bs for quite some time now, and very sadly, I haven't spent as much time as I wanted to with these because my wife nicked these. And speaking about nicking these, it looks like she's damaged it at some point because there's a little sort of scratch in this, like she's dropped it somewhere. And this is why I didn't want to give it to her. But anyway, she's enjoyed these, and honestly, so have I, because I've been listening to it for the past few days, and I, there's a reason why it's one of my favorite wireless earphones. I've been reviewing a whole bunch of wireless earphones over the last 3.5 years, and a lot of them just have a pomp and bloat about how they sound. With these, it's just completely different. In fact, Yamaha, at least when I was in touch with them asking about the product details, I was usually told these are not audiophile level, these are not audiophile grade. Okay, yes, they're not, because they don't support absolutely high resolution audio, and it's not wired, and you can't listen to very high res stuff. But that's not the point, or should I say that's not the way I saw what the product was telling me, because the overall approach of this set of earphones is not about anything else. It's not trying to scream about features. Maybe it's screaming about design, because it's actually a very gorgeous looking set of earphones. In fact, if you I've not seen any other earphones that look this pretty. These are actually genuinely very pretty looking earphones. I do like the way they look, but more than the way they look, they sound. In fact, they speak to you as if they want to be a set of audiophile earphones. So I found myself liking these a lot. In fact, it's, I think, one of my top 3 favorite sets of products that I've reviewed in the last year and a half, 2 years, or even 3 years, because there are very few products that speak to me on an audio basis. This is one of those 3. And that's primarily because it is trying to give you a trueness in how it sounds. And that is the essence of what an audiophile set of earphones is trying to do, because it's not overemphasized in the highs. It doesn't have a shouty mid-range. It doesn't have a rolled off lower mid-range to make the higher mids sound nasal with vocals. Horns and other instruments don't sound piercing, or should I say, they're not sibilant. And the lows are not big and bloated, which are swallowing up the mids and highs, which most earphones are doing. Everybody's obsessed with that over-exaggerated Harman curve. Yamaha has not done that at all. Their tuning is totally their own. They are going for a more flatter response, but at the same time, they are also incorporating something that they like to call listening care. So at lower volumes, they do boost the highs and lower range, but those highs and lower range, those frequencies aren't boosted so much so where it does distort or eat into the mid and high frequencies. Those ranges are emphasized at lower volumes, so that you're not looking for a louder volume and shooting your eardrums out. They're trying to give you a balanced sound even at lower volumes, so you can help in preserving your hearing. So it's all these small things that add up. It's all these small things that make this set of earphones speak and say that I'm here to give you good clarity in sound. I'm here to make sure you enjoy your music, and that's what I loved about it. It's quite effortless in its overall delivery. It just wants you to enjoy your music. It doesn't matter what genres you're listening to. It just wants you to enjoy your music. So on a sound front, I'd say it's absolutely terrific. In fact, I usually don't start my videos with the sound, but this is the most impressive thing when it comes to the TW E7B in particular. And then moving on to the build, the overall build on these is it's beautiful. In fact, this color I do like, because it's got this kind of marble-ish look to it. I don't know if you can see it very clearly. Maybe I might throw in some B-roll here to show you the texture of how pretty this is. The case is really nice. It's not the smallest case, to be honest. It is a bit it's a bit big and chunky, but that is also because it has a very large battery in it. It's got an 800 mAh capacity battery within the case, which is huge, but it is nice. Then I had a guy comment on the original in-depth review saying that these earphones are for buffalo ears. It does look that way. It really does look that, like, these are huge, but they might look big from the outside because they do have big cells on the inside, but they're not really large, because basically this is the construction of the earphone. So this goes into your ear, and this section here fits into the concha. So this part that fits into the concha actually has a little cutout here. So when you put it into the ear, you twist it so it gets tighter or looser depending on the size of your ear. So actually, this is the one set of earphones I found that fit both my wife's ears and my ears without any problems. It's just a matter of twisting it to adjust it. So whether you have large ears or small ears, these work perfectly fine. And this little extension here, that is this silver plate, is not a volume dial. One of my viewers, Matthias, did think it was. It would be cool if this was a volume dial actually, but it's not. On the inside, if you see, is actually an extension for the microphone. So this is one of the microphones that will be picking up your voice for phone calls. And then another thing I really like is that Yamaha has not gotten into the whole touch control thing. You know, this is not a touch panel. They've retained tactile buttons, and there's nothing like the clickety-clack of a tactile button. It's more responsive. You know that it's understood what you're trying to say. On a feature front, these aren't really loaded. Yamaha has not gone that way. They've got a very simple app. It gets the job done. There's not too much going on because Yamaha doesn't want you distracted dealing with an app. It would rather have you get immersed in your own media, be it music or videos. So you can control the smaller aspects of active noise cancelling. You do have a game mode. You do have an EQ customization mode with additional presets which you can play around with a bit. So it doesn't call for too much attention, which is nice. If you do want to know how these would handle calls, I will link my in-depth review down below in the description. I have done a call demo in that review in particular, so you can skip over to the call chapter in that video specifically if you do want to hear how your voice would carry over to your recipients. Overall, would I still recommend these after all this time? Well, honestly speaking, I do feel kind of robbed that my wife claimed this for so long, but it's back on my desk now, so I do use it now. This is now become my daily driver because it's beautiful to listen to. It's a very nice disconnect. In fact, listening to so many wireless earphones over the years, it gets kind of monotonous because a lot of them are trying to sound very similar. Each one is trying to outdo the other in bass or treble or mids. Not too many of them are focused in on detail and soundstage. This has focus there. Like, it is, I think, genuinely a set of wireless earphones that an audiophile can enjoy. Now, no doubt, it doesn't give you absolutely pristine quality levels of detail recovery like a set of audiophile headphones or IEMs would, but the approach is towards an audiophile presentation. It's not overly bloated anywhere. It's easy in the bass, it's well rounded in the mids, highs are nice, soft and supple, so it's a very enjoyable set of earphones to listen to. So I would still highly recommend getting the TW-E7B from Yamaha. It's a very nice set to own, and also more than anything else, it is not a set of Sony XM4s. So I'm sure if you're trying to be different from the rest of the crowd and you don't want to be seen with, you know, a typical design that Sony has, or any other earphone that's trying to replicate Sony, I've not seen any other earphone that looks like this, really. This really is something completely different that will set you apart in the crowd. And of course, I think this does come in another color. I think it comes in a darker color apart from this, but I do personally like the white. It's a beautiful finish. They've done a terrific job with it. And yeah, that's about it. I would highly recommend these. And if you would like to buy these, I will leave the link down in the description below. Keep an eye on the price during sales because prices keep fluctuating. In fact, I'll put the price up here basis what it is at the time of uploading this video. So there you have it. That's my long-term report on the Yamaha TW-E7B, and I hope this video has given you a better understanding of these earphones. And if you would like to support the channel, I'm sure you know exactly how to. But of course, thank you for tuning into Paul's POV for some sound advice.